Hi folks, I'm Ranger Bob. Today I'm going to be sharing a story with you from 1887 in the town of Holbrook. It was a wild and woolly town. Women and children weren't safe there. The saloon that you see here had another name. It was called the Bucket of Blood Saloon because of drunken fights, knifings, shootings, you name it. The sheriff of Apache County had a warrant for one of the worst people in the Southwest, Andy Blevins, alias Andy Cooper. There were warrants all over the place for Andy, but most sheriffs didn't want to mess with him. Andy Cooper was a short trigger man. This means that if he got into a disagreement with you, he may pull the gun on you over something as simple as who was the best boxer or who was the fastest horse. Sheriff Commodore Perry Owens, the new sheriff of Apache County, had a warrant for Andy Blevins, alias Andy Cooper. He heard that Blevins was going to be in Holbrook at the Blevins cottage. He grabbed his warrant, got on his horse, and rode to Holbrook and checked his horse into the Brown's livery stable. We're here in front of the Bucket of Blood Saloon in Holbrook, Arizona. If you look carefully up above my head, you'll see the big sign that they had. It just says saloon. The door is right here with me, and no telling how many stories this door could tell us about what went on in the 1800s. To my right and over a short distance is the freight depot. In the back of it was the water tower that a lot of people in town heard that Sheriff Owens was going to serve a warrant for Andy Cooper. And they had a perfect view across the tracks to watch the whole thing happen before their eyes. As he went up the street, some of the people said, "Do you want me to help you? I'll back you up." He said, "No, I don't want any guns behind me." He went up to the cabin and he called for Andy from the street. The front porch of the cottage, the door facing west and the door facing south, were where most of this event took place. When Owens checked in his horse at the Brown's livery stable, he walked up the street. When he got up in front of the cottage, he called for Andy. He got no reply, so he went up to the front porch. Andy cracked open that west-facing door a few inches, and they had a conversation about, "What do you want?" Owens said, "I have a warrant for you. You're going to have to come with me. Don't cause any trouble." Andy said, "Well, I'm not ready. I need a few more minutes." And he started to close the door. Andy had a gun in his hand, and the sheriff stuck his foot in the door so it couldn't be closed. At this time, the sheriff saw the pistol in Andy's hand. He knew immediately what was going to happen. He backed up and fired one shot through the door, hitting Andy in the stomach. At the same time, from the south-facing door, a shot was fired. Owens turned and fired his second shot. He did not hit anyone, but he decided immediately the front porch is not where I should be. So he moved out to the street. The bullet that was fired at him from that south-facing door struck one of their horses and killed it. Owens saw someone pass in front of the window, and he fired a shot through the wall. He hit John Blevins, Andy's brother, in the shoulder. Owens thought he heard a window open, and around the corner came Mose Roberts. He thought that the sheriff was still on the porch and was going to shoot him with the pistol that he had in his hand. He was shot immediately from the street by Owens. He staggered into the backyard and passed out. There was screaming and yelling on the inside of the cabin. And finally the door opened and out came Sam Houston Blevins, approximately age 14. Owens fired one shot and killed his 14-year-old on the spot. In the 1960s, I was investigating this story for the public, and I could not find the graves of the three victims. The librarian didn't know either. and she connected me with a sheriff that's retired and very old. When I got together with Sheriff Crawford, the first thing I said is, I can't find the graves of the 3 victims. Where are they buried? He smiled and chuckled, and he said, well, the cemetery was just a proposed area north of town. We're here at the Holbrook Cemetery. This is where they brought the 3 bodies to be buried. But in 1887, they did not have defined boundaries on this cemetery. It was just out in the high desert area. They buried them, they thought, in the cemetery, but actually it's out in the street. And then later they paved right over the graves. The city put up these memorial area. It's called the Old West Cemetery. It's a memorial to the 3 people who were killed in the shootout, along with a few others, to honor all of them. In 1888, Sheriff Owens ran for a re-election as a Apache County Sheriff. He was defeated. He wasn't a good politician. He wasn't good at slapping people on the back or shaking hands or holding somebody's baby. He was defeated, and he went to work for the railroad as a guard. His territory was from Holbrook to Seligman. Eventually, that job played out, and Owens moved to Seligman. Shortly after the shootout, newspaper reporters and some officials showed up in Holbrook and started interviewing the witnesses. The witnesses came up with an amazing fact. This shootout lasted 60 seconds. This event seemed to mark the beginning of the end of all the lawlessness that was going on in the Arizona Territory. Thanks for watching, and until next time, we'll see you in the forest.